Yo, know y'all, Mr. Clap. Chilling scares. Four most disturbing TV hijackings in history. Let's get into it, bro. It is freezing in my shit, bro.
Bears, then the defense, which hadn't put up a sack in 12 quarters, finally did.
Most disturbing
Perhaps
TV
the most popular
hijacking.
TV hijacking is the Max Headroom incident. It's likely you've seen it before. A man dressed in a suit, sunglasses, and most notably a Max Headroom mask. Max Headroom was a fictional character advertised as the first computer-generated TV presenter. He first appeared in his own movie before the character got his own TV program. Popular back in the mid-80s, it's likely most everyone instantly recognized the mask when on November 22nd, 1987, a sports segment on WGN TV was abruptly hijacked. This being what appeared on the screens of thousands.
McMahon and McKinnon, 14-0 Bears, then the defense, which hadn't put up a sack in 12 quarters, finally did.
Ew, no sound, no music, just this.
The hijacking lasted a total of 17 seconds before engineers at WGN were able to regain control of the broadcast tower by switching to a backup frequency. At the time, not even they knew what had happened.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I. Actually, the
fuck?
computer
What made
that we
that
have
person
running our
do
news
that?
from time to time took off and went wild. So what we're going to do is start over from the top of the Bears and tell you once again about the 30-10 victory they had over Detroit today out at Soldier Field. We'll show you from the top and show you again.
The video itself shows the man in the Max Headroom mask swaying erratically, all while the background rotates from side to side. This is seemingly to recreate the look from the actual Max Headroom show, which features a similar background. During the hijacking, a distorted buzzing sound can be heard. Only the visuals were successfully hijacked. However, on that same day a few hours later, a different station, WTTW, was also hijacked by the same group. And this time there was audio.
Okay, let's hear it.
Talk often with the old ones of your tribe. That is the only way to learn.
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
Extend some dry clothing.
Because he's a freaking nerd. I think I'm better than Chuck Swirsky. Working with oh, Jesus.
What?
That's the way. Your love is fading. I still see the X.
What?
I still see the X.
I still see the X. Bro, what made him want to do this? Do anybody know? Like why? Like what was the reason why?
Just like a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper.
Nerd.
This second incident lasted longer at about 90 seconds. This is because no engineers were on duty at the time, meaning no one was there to quickly switch to a backup frequency. The motive behind the interruption is unknown, as there isn't really ever one clearly established, even with audio. Many suggest the man was simply rambling on, saying any nonsense sentence that came to mind. However, others think differently.
I think I'm better than Chuck Swirsky.
The man mentions Chuck Swirsky, who was a TV reporter employed by WGN. At one point, the man also begins humming the tune to Clutch Cargo, a cartoon that aired on WGN. He followed this with, I Still See the X. This is possibly a reference to the last episode of Clutch Cargo aired on WGN, titled Big X.
still see the X. Oh, I guess they're a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds.
Additionally, the man mentions how he made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds. He likely meant World's Greatest Newspaper, or WGN, the first station that was hijacked. Perhaps he felt wronged by the station in some way, and the hijacking was deliberately created for and against WGN. Or maybe everything he said was all nonsense. Whatever the case,
nonsense.
the FBI immediately started an investigation.
It was not
confident they would be
nonsense.
able to find whoever was responsible for the interference.
But the odds, I'd say, if a guy continues to involve himself, either sporadically or continuously, it's very great that we will determine who it is.
Months, years, and now even decades have passed with no sign of who's behind the Max Headroom mask. All we know for sure is what's shown in the video. At least 3 people were involved, one under the mask, one behind the camera, which can be proven from a slight shift in the camera's angle at one point, and one rotating the background, which is shown stopping when they step into frame themselves. Also known is that the video was not recorded live, rather it was pre-recorded. This is proven with the visible cut in the video. To this day, it remains unknown who hijacked the 2 TV stations. No one has ever been charged.
That's crazy.
On August 19, 1987, during the 4 p.m. edition of KNBC's Channel 4 News, reporter David Horowitz was interrupted by an unidentified man walking into the studio. The man appears in frame armed and hands David a set of papers. He
Just in
instructs
case y'all
him
want to read
them, and without another option, David calmly does what he's told.
Pardon me? What is this? Let me see what it says. All right.
He's got a gun to his back.
All right, well, let me read this. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read this this copy which was just handed to me. You want to tell me your name or not? What is it? And Gary, where are you from?
This man trying to talk.
Video
Just
was
read the
then taken
fucking
off the air
paper,
and
bro.
replaced with a still screen.
God damn.
Thousands of people had already witnessed it live, and police were immediately flooded with calls from viewers. Monitors in the studio clearly indicated they were no longer on the air, but the reporters desperately tried to convince the man he was still on. He believed them and continued to let David read.
I was warned in 1981 by someone with connections at the CIA to stay off the computers, that they didn't trust people on computers. When I began receiving disturbing calls from my parents, which led me to believe that something terrible was going on. I was then forced into a mental hospital in Tallahassee, where I learned that my brother-in-law had been driven insane in the same manner that someone was trying to do to me.
After minutes of this, David finally finishes reading the statement, at which point the man sets down his weapon and it's revealed that it was only ever an empty BB gun. Police entered the studio and immediately arrested the guy. He was Gary Stolman. He managed to get in the studio as a guest to an employee. His father, Max Stolman, would sometimes work for KNBC as a reporter. Once inside, Gary waited for the channel to go live before walking into frame. Now, written on the paper Gary wanted read, it turned out to be a nonsense statement on the CIA, alien life, and other conspiracy-type stuff. One of the sections read, "The man who has appeared on KNBC for the past 3 years is not my biological father. He is a clone, a double created by the Central Intelligence Agency and alien forces. It is only a small part of a greater..."
Bro, when people be doing stuff like this, and bro, like not like this, not like hijacking TV, like the channel, but when people be writing about clones and shit, bro, that shit is not nonsense. It's not, bro. It's not nonsense. All these aliens and all that shit, it's not nonsense, bro. It was happening back then and it's happening now, bro. It's been happening. This shit is not nonsense, but
plot to overthrow the
I
United
digress.
States government and possibly the human race itself. Gary was sent to a county jail as he awaited trial.
all these
He was
clones,
found
aliens,
mentally ill
all
and
that
was
shit, this
arranged to
shit
get
is
the help he
real.
needed. His father later made a statement on the incident, reading, "I do have a sick son. He has been hospitalized a number of times. I'm I'm just thankful he wasn't shot.
Son, not sick.
In July of 2007, WJLA, a TV station in Washington, D.C., was abruptly interrupted from its WJLA, a TV...
Teacher kind of caked up, ain't she? Teacher kind of caked up
in
back
Washington,
there.
D.C. was abruptly interrupted from its regular programming.
Let me start over.
In July of 2007, WJLA, a TV station in Washington, D.C., was abruptly interrupted from its regular programming. Everything was going as usual, when all of a sudden the screen went black. And without warning, this image appeared on viewers' TVs.
That was scary the fuck out.
A grainy black and white photo of two human heads, one smiling, one not. Viewers watching live were confused and honestly creeped out. The image was unsettling, to say the least.
For real?
It stayed on screen for several seconds with no movement and no sound, just the image, before abruptly disappearing and returning to the station's regular programming. Many viewers called the station and made posts online trying to get answers. In response, the cable company ended up releasing an official statement on the incident. They claimed the image was a still frame from an advertisement for the Oprah Winfrey Show that was scheduled to play later on.
Lies.
Basically, they reasoned that their system somehow glitched in showing the still frame.
Lies.
This explanation left people skeptical. Many searched but found no Oprah Winfrey advertisement showing anything resembling the still frame.
Exactly.
It's widely believed the explanation was a cover-up for a successful hijacking of the station.
Most definitely.
Although, if this is the case, whoever's responsible for it is not identified. Viewers that had footage of the incident found that after posting them online, they were mysteriously getting taken down. There are no surviving videos left on the internet today, and so footage of the incident is now being treated as lost media. The only remaining evidence is this picture of the still frame that was shown.
Might check out some
January
lost media.
3rd, 2007. The Australian broadcast channel Channel 7 is broadcasting a rerun of an episode of the Canadian television documentary Mayday. At one point during the documentary, the audio suddenly cuts out and is eerily replaced with constant looping of a man yelling the words, "Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord." The visuals remain unchanged, it was only the audio that was affected. One viewer witnessing this pulled out his camera and began recording the strange audio.
Yeah. Look how technology advanced, bro.
Camera
Look at that
recording
shit.
the strange audio.
Like, look at that shit. You got what this is, a DVD player, another DVD player. Motherfucker, you got DVDs, CDs. What is it, a speaker? Then you got the motherfucking big back TV on some box looking thing. Then that shit is crazy.
This would go on for over 5 minutes before returning back to the documentary's original sound.
Not 5 minutes.
The viewer wrote, "I was channel surfing and heard this weird sound being repeated. It caught my attention as it was very odd, a bit creepy. I thought it was some kind of subliminal message, or that someone must have hacked in. I tried ringing the station for several minutes, but they never picked up." After gathering enough attention, a spokesperson for the network would make a statement. He denied the transmission being a prank or security breach, and actually claimed that the repeated line was a part of the original broadcast.
No
He further
fucking
stated
way.
that the audio actually said, "Jesus Christ, one of the Nazarenes." However, there's almost no similarity between the two phrases. People took this statement almost as a joke, considering how absurd it was.
Nah, lie.
It's believed the station's audio was temporarily hijacked, and the network didn't want to admit to it.
Hijacked.
A few independent researchers began an investigation on where the original audio came from, and surprisingly, it was actually found. It turns out the audio came from the haunting video of Preston Wheeler reacting to an ambush on his convoy in Iraq.
What?
Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord.
This attack occurred after the convoy had made a wrong turn down a dead-end street. Though Preston was fortunate enough to make it out alive.
But that's
The finding of this
congratulations.
video seemed to raise only more questions, like the reason behind why the hijacker chose to use this audio. No further information would ever be discovered. The whole situation kinda just slowly died down with no real answers. The hijacker responsible was never identified.
Hey man, if y'all like that video, give me 3 likes and I'll do another one. That lost media footage or whatever, that sounds good to react to. So y'all might catch that for another video. But self-love is the best love, man. Don't hold no weight, don't hold no grudges. Catch y'all in the next one, and I'm out.